The office is quiet, too quiet, the kind of quiet where even breathing feels loud. A small Australian bank branch, neutral walls, fluorescent lights. A desk polished by years of paperwork and routine decisions. A stamp comes down once. Approve. The sound is soft, almost forgettable, but in that moment, it changes everything. Across the desk, a woman exhales. Not a sigh of victory. Not relief mixed with pride. Just relief. The kind that comes when pressure finally lifts from your chest after weeks of sleepless nights. This isn't a billion-dollar deal. There's no champagne. No headlines. It's one modest loan. A temporary solution. Enough to breathe again. She isn't stealing. She isn't scheming. She isn't planning a crime. She's just buying time. For the first time in weeks, her thoughts slow down. Bills can wait. Calls can be returned. Tomorrow no longer feels like a cliff. She thanks the banker politely. Calm. Composed. Normal. And as she walks out into the sunlight, she believes something dangerous. That this is the end of her problems. That this single yes has saved her life. But here's the truth no one sees in that moment. That approval didn't save her life. It rewrote it. Because once money fixes fear once, the mind remembers. And the question that follows her out the door is one she won't hear until it's too late. How does one approved loan become a global financial crime? She looks like someone you trust. Educated, polished, the kind of professional who shows up early and leaves late. She knows the language of finance, understands numbers, and speaks with quiet confidence. People listen when she talks. Colleagues respect her. Friends come to her for advice. From the outside, she's doing fine, but stress doesn't always show on the surface. Behind the desk, behind the emails, behind the careful smile, the pressure is constant. Cash flow is tight. Commitments are piling up. Every decision feels like it carries weight she can't afford to drop. She isn't reckless. She isn't greedy. She isn't chasing luxury or status. She's cornered. Each day is a calculation. Which bill can wait? Which call to avoid? Which problem to push into tomorrow? And tomorrow keeps coming faster. She doesn't dream of scamming the world. She just wants time. Time to recover. Time to stabilize. Time to fix things before anyone notices they're broken. And that's how desperation really works. It doesn't arrive with alarms or chaos. It doesn't scream. It whispers. It tells you this is temporary, that you're still in control, that one small step won't change who you are. And when you believe that, you're already closer to the edge than you realize. She doesn't use the loan the way she promised she would. Not because she's careless. Not because she wants more. Because she sees an opportunity. An investment she understands. A space she's studied. A chance to turn short-term relief into long-term stability. In her mind, it isn't a gamble. It's a bridge. So she moves the money, quietly, carefully, confidently. And then something dangerous happens. It works. Returns appear right on schedule. Numbers line up. Pressure eases again, even more than before. What felt risky now feels smart. Her confidence grows. Not in the scheme, but in herself. She tells herself this was temporary. Just one cycle. Just one. Smart move to get ahead. I'll fix this next cycle. That sentence becomes her anchor, her excuse, her shield. Because once success rewards the decision stops feeling wrong. And here's the moment that defines everything. If your first gamble worked, would you stop? The lie doesn't arrive as deception. It arrives as reassurance. A quiet promise that this is still under control. That she's still the same person she was before the loan. That this is just a solution, not the start of something else. The numbers look good enough to share. At first, it's casual, a conversation over coffee, a quiet mention of returns. Nothing dramatic, just enough to spark interest. Friends listen. Colleagues lean in. Private investors ask questions. She doesn't pitch hard. She doesn't chase. She simply explains what worked for her. There are no contracts, no formal structures, no regulators involved, just trust. And trust moves faster than paperwork ever could. Money starts coming in, not all at once, slowly, consistently, each new deposit reinforcing the belief that this is real. The more money arrives, the more pressure follows. Expectations grow, questions increase, timelines tighten. Success attracts belief faster than truth. Returns go out right on time. People smile. Word spreads. Confidence multiplies. But beneath the surface, a dangerous balance forms. Every return depends on new money, not performance, not profit, flow. And as long as the flow continues, the illusion holds. She tells herself she's managing momentum, that this is temporary, that she'll exit cleanly. But the system no longer belongs to her. It belongs to what it needs to survive. Something changes. She's no longer reacting to pressure. She's organizing it. Spreadsheets get cleaner. Timelines get tighter. Payments are scheduled with precision. Old investors are paid with new funds, quietly, efficiently, on time. Statements are no longer records of reality. They're designs, carefully worded, clean numbers, no questions invited. She rehearses explanations in advance, not life stories, plausible ones, comforting ones, the kind people accept because they want to. And the most dangerous part, she doesn't feel like she's stealing anymore. Stealing implies taking something and running. This feels like balancing, adjusting, holding things together. She tells herself she's protecting people, that pulling out now would hurt everyone, that one more cycle will fix it. This is maintenance. A system built not to grow, but to survive. And every morning, it demands her full attention. Every decision matters. Every delay is dangerous. Every doubt must be smoothed over immediately. So here's the moment where the path splits. Would you exit while you still can, or double down to survive? Because the truth is no longer about money. The scam is alive now, and it needs her to keep breathing for it. The money doesn't stay put, it moves out of Australia, across borders, through accounts she's never visited, in currencies she never planned to manage. What started as something local, something contained, begins to stretch beyond her reach. Different time zones, different laws, different expectations. Australia is no longer enough, and neither is control. New investors arrive from overseas, introduced by friends of friends, referred through quiet messages and private calls, each one farther removed from her original plan. The numbers grow larger. The transfers faster, the consequences heavier. The moment it goes global, it stops being yours. She can no longer see the whole picture at once, only pieces, fragments, delays that don't line up the way they used to, questions she answers without fully understanding the system anymore. What she built to manage pressure has become something else entirely, a machine that needs constant fuel, a structure that can't be paused, a system that no longer waits for permission. And for the first time, she feels it. Not panic, not fear, disorientation. She created this to buy time, but now time is moving without her. And somewhere between the borders, the currencies, and the expectations, she realizes the most dangerous truth of all. She doesn't fully know how it works anymore. And that's when control finally slips out of her hands. It doesn't collapse with an explosion. It shifts, a market move no one predicted. Confidence softens. Conversations change tone. Withdrawals increase small at first, then urgent. At the same time, new money slows, not stops, just hesitates. And hesitation is enough. For the first time, the math doesn't balance. The timing slips. The flow tightens. She tells herself it's temporary, that markets breathe in cycles, that this will correct. Because something terrifying has happened without her noticing. She believes her own numbers. The projections feel real. The timelines feel reasonable. The future she promised feels close enough to touch. So she waits. She waits for returns that don't arrive. She waits for confidence to come back. She waits for one more opening that never appears. Emails sit unanswered longer than usual. Messages feel heavier. Silence stretches. And in that silence, the truth becomes impossible to ignore. She didn't just lie to investors. She lied to herself. The system she built to survive no longer responds to logic. It responds only to momentum, and momentum is gone. There is no exit now, only exposure. Only the slow realization that believing the lie was the final step. And once that happens, there's no way back. Image attracts money, but truth collects interest. She built a dream without a foundation. Every mansion, every luxury reservation, every promise she made rested on belief alone, not reality. And dreams built on illusions collapse the hardest, leaving nothing but echoes of what could have been. The world around her moves on. Investors shrug, banks recover, hotels collect their bills, and she is left with a lesson written in the harshest currency experience. Karma has a quiet way of teaching. It doesn't need noise or spectacle. It simply unfolds, leaving the guilty to face the weight of their choices. And now, we leave you with a question that lingers. Do you think society creates scams like this, or exposes them? Because sometimes, the line between ambition and deception is thinner than we imagine. If this story made you question success, wealth, or trust, then you belong here. Subscribe for true stories that expose money, power, and illusion. Like the video if image has ever fooled you. Share it, because someone you know might need this lesson. Karma doesn't start when you steal. It starts the moment you believe your own deception. She didn't wake up a criminal. She didn't plan a global fraud. She made a choice to delay the truth. Then another. Then another. And each time she refused to stop, the lie felt safer than reality. Until it wasn't. Because the most dangerous scams aren't built on greed, they're built on belief. Belief that tomorrow will fix today. Belief that momentum is control. Belief that you can exit before the cost arrives. She didn't become a criminal in one moment. She became one by refusing to stop. If this story made you uncomfortable, that means it worked. Subscribe for true stories about money, ambition, and the lies we tell ourselves. Like this video if you've ever justified a bad decision because it worked once. Share it, because someone you know might still think they're in control.